Good day, everyone. Trust you're doing well today. Today, we are talking about turning 5,000 naira into almost a million naira in just 3 years. Now, have you ever spent 5,000 naira on something and later wondered where the money ever went? Maybe it was food, maybe it was transport, maybe just buying small things here and there. Now, imagine taking that same 5,000 naira every week and putting it somewhere that quietly grows your money while you're busy living your life. Here is something that even surprises me. If you invest 5,000 naira every week in a money market fund for just 3 years, you could end up with around 940,000 naira. Yes, almost a million naira. And the interesting part is that you don't, work extra hours to earn it all. Some of that money actually comes from, your investment doing the work for you. So let me show you exactly how this works, because once you understand this, you may never look at saving money the same way again. First of all, what exactly is money market fund, which is MMF, right? Don't let the name make it sound so complicated and complex. It's just a simple thing. Think of it like this. Imagine thousands of Nigerians put their money together into one big basket. Now that basket becomes so large that professional investment managers can use it to invest in safe places like treasury bills, government securities, and fixed deposits with big banks. These investments pay interest. Instead of keeping all the interest, the fund shares most of it with everyone who invested. If I was to explain to an average Joe on the street, I'll just tell the person a money market fund is almost like a high-paying savings account. Now, the difference is that your money is being managed by professionals who are trying to get better returns than what a normal saving account usually offers. Now, let's do the math real quick. This is the part everybody wants to know. Now, you decided to invest 5,000 naira every single week. There are 52 weeks in a year, right? Everybody knows that. So 5,000 naira multiplied by 52 weeks gives you 260,000 naira in 1 year. Now, let's stretch that over 3 years. 260,000 naira multiplied by 3, which is the 3 years, equals 780,000 naira. So after 3 years, you have personally contributed 780,000 naira. That part is quite easy, right? Now here is where things becomes interesting. Now let's assume your money market fund earns an average return of 30% every year. Now I'm just being so conservative with that 13%, because currently Stanbic IBTC MMF is at 15%. Now some years they even earn more. So keep in mind that you're not investing the whole 780,000 naira on the very first day, like at once, right? You are adding 5,000 naira, like you're contributing your own 5,000 naira every week. That means each deposit has a different amount of time to grow. So the returns don't simply become 30% of 780,000 naira. That's not how it works. Let's look at it year by year. At the end of your first year, you have invested 260,000 naira. Since the money came in gradually throughout the year, your investment will earn around 16,000 to 18,000 naira just in returns. That means by the end of year one, you already have roughly 277,000 naira. But here is the thing, year two is where things really picks up, because if you continue adding that same 5,000 naira every week, your investment is no longer earning returns only on the money you put in from year one. It is now also earning returns on the interest you made during the first year. This is what people call compound interest. Compound interest simply means your money starts making money. Then the money it's made also starts making you money. That is why people say compound interest is one of the most powerful ways to build wealth. Now, by the end of year two, your total contribution is now around 520,000 naira. That's almost half a million naira. You know why? Because of compound growth. Now, your investment could also be worth around 590,000 naira, depending on the changes of the interest rate, right? Now, let's enter year three. You keep doing exactly the same thing. No extra stress, no guessing, no checking the market every 5 minutes. Just your 5,000 naira contribution every week. By now, your investment has become much bigger. That means each month's return also becomes bigger. By the end of the third year, you have contributed exactly 780,000 naira. But your investment could now be worth around 940,000 naira. That's almost a million naira. That means your money has earned you roughly 160,000 naira. Think about that for a second. You didn't sell anything. You didn't start another side also. You didn't win a lottery. Your money simply worked while you focused on your normal life or your job, your regular day job. Now, let me ask you something. What if instead of investing, right, you kept that 780,000 naira at home just 3 years, like you saving that 5,000 naira consistently for that, 3 years? You will still have that same 780,000 naira. Not 1 naira more, not 1 naira less. Actually, you probably have less buying power. Why? Because of inflation. Now, inflation simply means things become more expensive over time. So think about the price of rice, transport, cooking gas, rent, school fees. Most of them cost more today than they did a few years ago. So even if your money stayed the same, its value would have gone down because prices have gone up astronomically. Now let's compare that with a normal savings account. Many regular savings accounts pay very little interest. Some pay around 1 or 2% a year. Now, if you save that same amount there for 3 years, you might earn only around 20k to 30,000 naira, depending on the account and how the bank calculates interest. Now, take a moment to compare that to our now 160,000 naira gain from our money market fund. That is a big difference. This is why where you keep your money matters just as much as how much you save. Now, before someone says, so you're telling me there is no risk, yeah? Well, every investment has some level of risk, but money market funds are not magic. They are not guaranteed. The returns can go up or down, depends on what is happening in the economy. But compared to things like cryptocurrency or buying stocks, money market funds are generally seen as one of the safer investment options because they mainly invest in short-term government securities and bank deposits. So to some extent, you are safe. So how do you actually start? The good news is that you don't need millions of naira. You do not need to know anybody, and you do not need to visit any office. You can do everything straight from your phone. Apps like Cowrywise and PiggyVest make it very easy to invest in money market fund. Even some Nigeria banks like Stanbic IBTC, GTCO, UBA, etc. also have similar investment options through their own bank app or investment platforms. The process is usually simple. Download the app, open an account, verify your identity, choose the money market fund your account, then set up an automatic weekly debit of 5,000 naira. This last step is probably the most important because once it becomes automatic, you don't even have to bother about it every week. You don't have to even rely on motivation. It just keeps happening. And before you know it, months has passed, then years. And guess what? You have built something meaningful. Here is what I want you to remember from this video. Small amounts are not totally useless, all right? People often think they need 500k and above before they can start investing. That is simply not true. Building wealth is usually not about making one giant big move, right? It's about making small, smart decisions over and over again. If you can consistently put away 5,000 naira every week and leave it alone long enough to grow, you may be surprised by what your future self ends up with. The truth of the matter is, sometimes the biggest mistake is not starting. Because every week you delay is one more week your money could have been working and compounding for you, but instead it's just sitting idle. And that is exactly how small habits slowly becomes big results. If you gain value from this video, please like and subscribe so you do not miss my next video. All right. Have a nice day. Bye.